Is anyone confused about that concept or idea? Now that makes it easier when you see divergences within the unusual whales, right? You will know, you will know that you are more likely to get a response. Now, is it perfect, right? No, I can, so New York lunch, right? But if you took it over New York lunch, stop, stop, right? I don't think anyone would. On the other hand, if you get out of New York lunch, up, up, and when NQ, we want as much as possible for NQ and ES to match. Okay, so with that being said, right, if you look at today, right, if you look at the reversal bars, notice that they are getting not 100%, but they are getting traction. Notice I'm starting on the 6 tick, right? If you'll notice, so I go reversal bars first. I'd like the algos to fire, right? They may not fire, right? But if you see, so remember, Fed speakers coming up here, right? Fed speaker coming up. This is at the bottom of the channel. This is the top of the channel. But if you look at the bars that responded, white bar down got stopped at 717. Like no one's going to trade into the Fed speaker pre-market. It's a bad idea, right? But if you look at this, right, generally speaking, you should see the algos down, right? Get some traction out of this. There will be stops, and I'm not telling you to trade contra, right? But I do know if I get to a resistance point, right, and I get an algo down, I probably will come out of the longs and it opens other options for me to trade. You should be clear which side of this market you're going to trade. I already posted the econ, but I don't think there's anything significant. I don't think there's anything. There's another Fed speaker at some point. US leading index of change at 9 o'clock. I think that's a nothing burger. Fed's Muslim speaks at 10:10. I need to put, hey Siri, set an alarm for 10:05 a.m. Fed speaker on deck. And then Trump speaks at the close. Hey Siri, set an alarm for 2:50 p.m. Trump speaks at the close. So that's it. A couple things that I put in my notes. I had a conversation with Ed yesterday. I am struggling because I'm trying to stay very specific to a specific trade process. And I'm also noticing when I'm getting confused is the wrong word, but getting cross signals that I don't have a clear plan for it. I was speaking with my wife yesterday. So here's this very simple plan. If I see NQ minus 150 and ES up 22, that is a sign for me to stop immediately. Why? Because I don't like that. That's the only reason why. There's no great reason behind it. I don't like it. That's it. I don't like it. Okay. So we are opening right underneath prior day's low. And when you don't like something or it causes you confusion, now some people can look at that and go, hey, no problem. I got it. Right. So I look at that and go, I want them to be in sync without clear evidence. And so I would have gotten chopped pretty badly yesterday trying to trade, and I'm glad I didn't. Okay. I would have gotten chopped pretty hard, and my frustration level went up pretty key. My whole key to my trading success obviously is being able to stay on process and keeping my nervous system reactions low. That would be what I would say. Okay. And that is exactly what I intend to do. So unless you have any questions, I am ready to roll. I will look at where I want to see the unusual whales, everything line up. But yesterday was a weird day too with the unusual whales. You'll see the gamma was green, NQ was down, ES was up. It was just a weird day, right? Don't trade weird days is my suggestion. It's an easy solution, even if it's a little like really, I don't get to work today, but it's better than losing money, right? So my pure goal is to stay on process, take the trades as the algos fire and getting hit on the limit, right? I am running the algos to the short side and turning them on and off as necessary, right? These will run period because it's just those that you're looking at there are on sim, but on my actual accounts, I'll turn them on and off, and then I will manually manage out the trade. I would look for bigger extensions today. when they set up. So NASDAQ, S&P is going to open up down about 0.5%. The NASDAQ's going to open up down about 0.5%, give or take a few points. And I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee, and then I will go to work. That is my trade plan for today. Okay, I'll be back in a second. NQ and ES both ripping out of the gate. ES a little less so. Don't know what that was. Wow, straight down and ripper. Anyone have it? Was it a Trump tweet? I'm going to guess that it was. Doesn't mean that it was, just guessing. And there's your gamma levels up above. So above the gamma level and pushing, right? Like I said, you don't know how they're going to open it, right? I'm looking for pretty specific algos to find my trades. White bar down on 6-tick ES outside the channel with white dot. Again, I'm not under VWAP. I didn't make it to the 77.21, which is where I assume resistance will be. I'd like to see a lower high, inverse supernova, these kind of things to help me out. And down we finally roll. Like I said, my observation is that the down bars with tight stops work when the gamma is negative. So you can go, especially not within the first few minutes. So if you look, it went stop, paid, right? And on the NQ 24 tick we'll use, it went stop, paid, paid, stop, paid. So not bad. So someone somewhere is speaking, right? I don't know who it is, but the way it's, I think, the way it's jumping up and down, and again, I could be completely wrong on that. Tweezer top up there. Green bar up on the turn there over VWAP lifted. I didn't see that on the 6 tick and on the 4 tick. Sorry, was a little distracted. NQ below its 100 on the 24. ES clearly stronger than NQ. Again, the white bar down, one stop, one pay off the 6 tick, which is what I would be on. NQ leading us lower at this point. And we're both above VWAP. Turn back on the moving averages on the 32 so people can see them. 'Underneath the moving average on the 32 tick as well. Again, I'm pointing out, right? White bar down on NQ. Okay, because I've seen this over and over. I'm looking for the dots and the white bars down on the turn, right? To see where the push is coming from, right? So we're right on VWAP. I got a response. So remember, if you're running your algo right now, right? I would have expected lower and we got an open drive higher, right? I would be very patient with the longs right now, especially on NQ, but ES as well, right? We've got an initial response. 29, 344 is a clear target down, right? And then we'll see how it responds there once it gets down there, right? ES stronger than NQ generally, but they're both down. ES down 23, NQ down 152. And remember, at support levels, if you're looking at the profile or what have you, the rules call for the market to push through that level. So right now, I'm waiting to get under VWAP and turn on my short signals is what I'm looking for. Okay, that's my plan because I want to be in alignment with the liquidity. Oh, I have not reset. Sorry. Did it reset? Just to make sure it did. There we go. And we have, so the conflict there, right? Puts under zero. We just got the cross, right? We got price over zero. Price over zero, calls under zero, puts under zero, net volume positive. So I'm looking for a change in character there. I'm trying to get it all lined up so I can get my extensions, if that makes any sense to anyone, right? That's what I am trying to do. And then Q's on a rip or down. Is anyone confused right now? Let's see, there's a couple messages. Got it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Better now, right? Thank you, 1 week sister. Thank you, now below VWAP. And we have econ in 10 minutes, non-substantial, I believe. What's wrong? No, she's not. Remember, if there's a weakness in NQ, there'll also be a rotation often out of NQ initially into ES, right? Again, the white bar is down, right? We have a little bit higher volatility, but the white bars down are turning, and I am hunting for them in ES. And same in NQ. I'm waiting for it to rally and then go from there. We're now underneath the 29,344. ES clearly doesn't have much in between here and 76.70. We've traded the whole range, right? So see this here? So this is what I'm trying to keep y'all from. The ES is going to be harder to the upside right now than we would normally expect. It would be easier if the liquidity had increased. Those zip off those turns, right? So we're really trying to get in alignment with where the liquidity is, not take unnecessary stops, right? And not sit there and fight the market, right? So under VWAP, I would expect acceleration down on ES. Over, I'd expect my bars, right, to be a bit more challenging to make work, right? Is this making sense? Is anyone confused yet? Give me time. You bet. The net volume tanking, calls over puts now. We got cut in half for sure. Some kind of news out. Wow. That was NQ specific. Wow, that was pretty crazy, huh? What was the head fake there? Again, I'm going to keep pointing this out. Negative liquidity. Stop if you could have gotten it. Short, right? Run up. Short, paid. Negative liquidity withdrawn. The shorts are easier. I'm going to keep coming back to that over and over again. Okay. I'm going to keep coming back to that over and over again because I think my first evolution was under VWAP, but I think my second evolution, without it rip roaring higher, right, meaning just no mercy whatsoever up moves, I think the next evolution of that is going to be drop the VWAP. It doesn't matter. As long as you're close to structure or close to support resistance or 50-60 and the liquidity is removed, I think that liquidity removed is driving the institutional decisions as to how they're going to trade that. That's what I think. Now, I could be totally wrong, right? Two-minutes till. Here comes 9 o'clock. Ripper. Weird, but it's a ripper. White bar down on the 4 tick. Green bar square down. White bar down, white bar down. I think after talking to Ed that this made more sense. And the big advantage is it gives us the ability to kind of plan the trade before we ever get into the room in the morning, right? That's what I think is the huge, huge advantage there. Now let's see if we go into summertime sideways on the 29,344, or if we roll down, like I think we rolled to 76.71. Is everyone doing okay? Does anyone have any questions or confusion? Yep, I agree 100%. I think it's short. I got to tell you, I think it's short. If you look at the way the market's responding to the algos, it's saying it's short, right? We haven't had, even though we ran up, look at all the algos that have fired and paid you, right? And NQ hasn't been able to rally. Usually that's the first, thing out of the box. White bar down on the 32. I'm short there against the high of that bar, for better or for worse. White dot down on the 4 tick. No extension yet. And obviously we're going to get hit with news at some point because there's no way Trump's just going to let this free fall. So you just got to expect that they're going to come in with it. See how the volatility is going a little bit more? It's whipping a little bit harder in that area, and that's fine. And again, you're fine. We all know that it comes to the top of the channel, so you can wait for that if you'd like. You're free to scale, obviously, if you'd like to. If you can't tell, I am taking the dots down and the white bars down on both ES and NQ. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. When all of those things align, ES and NQ in alignment, the liquidity was withdrawn, right? I bided my time, I let them rally it up. But yes, I'm going to search for those trades and I'm going to try to push. Now, what could happen is I end up getting chopped sideways, right? Or eventually I'll get stopped, like they'll rally it back up and say they're not ready to let it go yet. But I'm not in that position yet. And I am not guessing, I am entering on process, okay? Whether it's a 24 tick or something different. I obviously wouldn't expect it just to go straight down. Markets take time to percolate. So yes, I am short that white bar down over VWAP, right? The issue with over VWAP, I'll cover faster over VWAP than I will under VWAP. Okay, so again, I'm focused on the white bars down, okay, and I expect it to come back against me. I just do. Nothing on ES yet. And somewhere in here, they will rally it. Like there ain't no question about it. Nothing on ES, and I'm hunting ES. Is anyone has the insight? It's fast. Slippery's correct. I'd agree with that. I think you needed the trader assist to get filled on most of this, Ed, or a lot of it, or a retrace back in, one of the two. So we have Ivy high and low set as well. ES is holding VWAP so far. Twenty-four is on top, 32 is on bottom on NQ. ES chopping sideways. Like I would kick that ES long out, right? If I got filled, I would kick it out. I'm telling you right now. I just would. And we're going into chop, so just heads up. So remember, we'll have at 10 o'clock a Fed speaker, right? So they'll generally, I don't know if he's generally hawkish or bullish or what, but with the bonds being so sensitive right now, you may find a response with it being so sensitive right now. So you're gonna have IB high, IB low, and the Fed speaker coming up at 10:05, I think. Is anyone having difficulty or confused? Joyce, are you cool? Have I communicated it well? All right. Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Ed, I agree with what you say about the smoother PA, but is anyone confused um, about the, I would be focusing on the short instead of the long? Did anything get heard when I was saying how I think this will shift around our thinking in a general way? So if anyone's confused right now or having a difficult time, you should ping me now. Don't wait, would be my suggestion. I am not having a difficult time or a difficult day. I'm good. Underneath 29,344, we could accelerate, obviously, to retest at that first hour low. ES is already on the RTH low, right? Even though it's weird, it's a bit stronger. So just a heads up on that. Okay. Okay. What I was saying is, Brian, the way I think it'll change when those two line up, ES and NQ, okay, the way that that will change. So the first thing I said is below VWAP, we press the white bars down. I think you've, and the dots down. I think you've got that, right? But as I've been going back and lining up the liquidity pools or liquidity adds, what I noticed consistently across the board, right? Not every bar, but like I was saying this morning, every bar that was in alignment with that liquidity add um, had a much better chance of an extension. And then if you're under VWAP, a big extension, right? Whereas, so you see the longs that all lined up. Did they work? Yes. But see how they all got truncated? Look at that versus the shorts, how far the shorts are extending down. Even on the green bars down, they're extending down. You can press to the downside. And same thing when we're inverse supernova, right? You can press to the downside, right? Make sense, Brian? Back to retest the 44. And we may go on pause here for the Fed speaker, just heads up on that. Okay. But it looks pretty weak. We are where we want to be on the puts. So the hope would be the Fed speaker pops it up for a position or an options trade, which I'll look for if I can get it. I'm pretty sure I know that I'm quick to switch, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to change my trade rules to in the direction of the liquidity pool for the algos, stronger below VWAP, but still valid above, more scalping above or smaller position above, more aggressive below. I'm pretty damn sure that's what I'm going to do. Oh yeah, sorry. There you go, buddy. Better? Back to VWAP. Someone may have said something, who knows? I'm telling you, that's a scalper's delight with these bars and in the direction of. It's not perfect, but when you get all that liquidity going one way, that's cool. Chop, chop, chop. White bars down have been super scalpable today. Down to the 29,344. Is everyone doing okay? Does everyone see what I mean by the white bars down, white dots down? Like they are letting you, at a minimum, escape with profitability and giving you extensions. Is anyone confused about that? Have I communicated it clearly? 930 algos firing. Chop, chop, chop in ES. Look at the 24 tick and NQ and ES. We started going sideways, probably because we have a Fed speaker coming up. Okay, so do not overpressure advantage into that Fed speaker. You're just going to have to wait till it pops one way or the other, right? Unless you like trading chop. You can see clearly we've stopped rotating cleanly. Look at the 4 tick, look at the 32 tick. We're folding on top of each other, right? So just let that, just let that sit there for you for a minute. So while we're in this little respite of I wanted to show you, so I'm changing the algo here so that we'll have one, right? But I want to show you the idea. So this is 4 tick, right? So these are look at the short area, right? So this is Sensei 30, short, stop, short, paid, stop, paid, 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 paid. When I say paid, let's say it went at least 2 bars, right? Paid, um, that's long. That's all we've had so far, right? So I'm pretty sure if I go back and retest, and I just test the days where the gamma was negative, we come up with a huge edge on the short side on the white bars down and the white dots down across the board. I'll do the same for NQ. And so then we'll have one version, one where we press underneath VWAP, one where we long only, one with short only. And then so, but I am gonna have to go and test to make sure my thesis is is correct, right? But it's important that it be the white bar down and the white dot down. I think we have to limit it so that we can figure out if it starts going south on us, how to fix it easily, right? Or what's working or what isn't working. Does that make sense, guys? Bill, I was already short. I was taking the white bars down on both NQ and ES. I know you hate it when I shift that quickly, but that's what I did. But I totally agree with it. Guys, what I'm trying to make sure of, Joyce, is the way I'm explaining it, or Ed, or whoever's in the room, Brian, is it making sense to y'all the way I'm trying to show both proof of concept and the idea behind both pieces simultaneously? Am I doing a good job of that, or does it is it because everyone's quiet, it's hard for me to tell. Like everyone's like, yeah, that's good job, or no, Simon, that makes absolutely no freaking sense in the world whatsoever. Yeah, I think I would adjust size versus adjusting. I'd be more aggressive under and on trend day down. I would adjust size above, like there. So see how you would get stopped, right? So two things are going on. We're running into that Fed speaker. It makes sense to get a lift, right? Unless there's other whatever, blah, blah, blah going on, right? And then the other thing is, yeah, if you keep pressing those trades, you will take some stops on top. There's no question about it. Like it will not run completely smoothly. White bar down, stuffed, white bar down, stuffed, then it finally rolled. But you had to expect that going into the Fed speaker a little bit, I would think. I don't think I'm way off base saying that. Okay, guys, it's a good time for me to take a break. The Fed speaker starts at, let's see, if he's on time, 10:10. Right, we're heading up into the top of the half hour. We usually get algo's fire there. A great time to chop while we wait for the guy. I hope he rallies this up personally. So, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some sunshine. Anyone need anything or have any questions? Joyce, I know I need to work on your deal. Let's see what they do now. They've got the Fed man Fedding, right? That's what we're all waiting for him to save it. So I don't know when he starts speaking. I'm watching. Treasury Secretary Bennett has been yapping, just so you know. I mean, there's got to be something going on because when the Treasury Secretary makes this many comments about the bond, like something's got to be afoot. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough. Maybe Ed is. I'm definitely not. But look how many comments the Fed guy's making. Like it's just a ton of them. Bennett. Oh, I wonder why I'm not uploading fast. Look at how many comments he's making off of that. Like something's afoot. All I can say, something's afoot. And I don't know what it is. But I don't see any comments from him yet specifically. Bassinet still speaking. Bassinet, whatever you want to call it. White bars down. 6 tick, 4 tick. And that's been all day long like that. Still flying across. U.S. Secretary Bennett's deal ended, and now I think we probably get the Fed speaker right after him. Right. Want to come in? Yes. A few minutes until London closes. And then we see what she does. Still a clear target down there. Got down on the 24 tick over there on NQ. And that stuffed a green bar up into the gamma level. If there was a good argument to come back and retest that 301, it's right there. ES is the argument against. Fed's comments are coming across now. He's talking about hiking rates now. That was a pretty straightforward read. Bye-bye. Hey Siri, call Joyce.